Hello and welcome to another video of Jeffrey's Joysticks, and today, in amongst many other tasks that I've done, I'm going to be stripping down this little model that I got on the eBay. Now obviously I've literally just unboxed it, so yeah, it's fairly dirty, got a good price for it, but I was more intrigued as to what is actually going to happen with this panel here, because I'm not entirely sure how the camera is. I'll try that because I've inverted the camera a bit anyway. So yeah, it's just because it's missing like one of the rubber feet, but I've actually got an idea as to what I'm going to do with it. A few kind of scores and scratches on it. Yeah, so aesthetically it's definitely had a hard run, but with a good clean, fresh paint and possibly some new feet on the bottom, then yeah, it could be more or less the base model for the kind of carbon chrome metallic effect model that I plan on doing. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's get stripping this thing down. Now I'm trying to decipher how I did this the last time, because the last strip down that I didn't use OBS. It was NVIDIA GeForce Experience, so it wasn't necessarily the proper program to use at the time. Yeah, I mean the joystick's actually quite responsive, huh? It's not bad. So yeah, this time around I'm running OBS, so hopefully it's a better viewing experience for all. I'm trying to think what is the best way of getting around this, because if I start taking off the top panel, there's every chance it's going to be more difficult. So I'm going to start with the bottom then. I'm just going to have it that the joystick is facing towards me. Move that mat back. And yeah, as you can see, cable's kind of dirty. Could do with a wipe down, although I've got a cable in mind actually for this particular model. So yeah, let's just start off by going in. I just need to find the appropriate screwdriver, so bear with me a second. Nah, I'm definitely not wanting to be using a flat-headed one for this. I'm just going to draw my kit in a wee bit closer and into the light also. That's better. Now we're talking. Right, so I'll box that back in there, and we shall begin. Not with that one I want. Try this one. It's a bit OTT, but it might do rightly. It will do rightly. Right, just need to be careful with these screws. See, we got this. Don't want to be busting threads here so early on in this stage. There we are. Now in terms of screw placement and things like that, I'm not ideally bothered, because I'm not like the majority of the stick itself, like the arcade, the case and everything. Yeah, the case might have its use, but primarily I'm really interested as to this bottom panel here. You know, once I remove these kind of like rubber feet, or what's meant to be rubber feet. So I'm just curious as to how the seller was able to lose one of the feet. I messaged them, obviously haggling, because, you know, everybody's kind of shying away from the Dreamcast at the moment. Although the Dreamcast Mini could be making an appearance anytime soon, so that could just explode, you know, just reignite the scene again. But I was looking over the weekend there, and someone was selling basically a brand new, you know, HKT-7300, and it sold for just over £100, which, yeah, it's fine, you know, if you want to have that sitting on your shelf, by all means. But for me, I just like to get the old shaggers, and then that way, you know, if a paint job goes horribly wrong, or something, you know, something untoward happens, then I'm not going to cry myself to sleep over it. Because for what I'm ideally doing with these things is I'm all about modifying. So this is us getting into the bottom region here. So this is ideally, you can see it, yeah, this is the piece in question that I am most interested in, because this is going to go towards the carbon metallic silver edition. Now, everything seems okay, but I do notice that the hot glue, when they've applied it onto the buttons itself, it's kind of got that stringy. Don't know if you'll be able to see it for here. Yeah, you see it. I'm trying to point it to you. This here, that area there, it's like a cheese string effect. But apart from that, it's all gravy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to first hand probably take the joystick out first. That way it's not protruding on the mat here. So I'll go ahead and I'll start removing that first, and that frees me up. Yeah, again. There we are, that's a kind of click I wanted, just to break the seal. Bosh. So it's just a brief video allowing you to have a wee look inside how it looks, for those that maybe want to try their hand, or they're just curious. So hope you're enjoying the adventure so far. Plenty more of these to come. And maybe for those who are just curious about arcade or joystick modification in general, then yeah, I'm glad you stumbled across my page. Yeah, let's get this loosened up here. That should be it now. Magnetic screwdriver should just make light work of that. And then we're just going to remove the harness gently from the PCB. And when I mean gently, I do mean gently. Because, yeah, memory serves me well, as a bit of a bollock. I think these are held in by clips or something, so bear with me. There we are, I can feel one side of it starting to slope up already. Just need to get the other side and do it gently. Maybe try and get in with a flat-headed screwdriver, and just be careful not to bust open, or indeed take it too far and damage the whole PCB itself. There we are. So that's that. I'm just going to gently reposition, just like that. I know that obviously the joystick itself is disconnected at that end. Now I just need to try and remove the ball top, so it's just a case of, you know, as dodgy as it sounds, but you need to grab a hold of the shaft. Good firm grip now. And then it's just a case of just keep rubbing away at the ball there. And then, yeah, just rotate it anti-clockwise, and then it'll eventually come away off the thread. And just like that. And then, yeah, that's your ball top. So just set that down there for the meantime. So yeah, just to continue on, so that was a ball top removed. So then it's just a case of, you would normally gently take this off. I wouldn't normally use a screwdriver as such, but like I said, I'm not entirely bothered about any of the aspects of this joystick really. Just, it's always nice to have a spare case, maybe a spare start button, because the little clips can snap off. So yeah, there you go, there's the joystick assembly there. It's not great because the torch is on it, but a good clicking motion on it. I mean, it's not a bad stick in all fairness. A wee scrub up, and who knows, maybe if they make a comeback, people will be more inclined to look for spares and things like that. But so we'll continue on. And what I'll probably actually do is, now that I've got that at the equation, we're going to go flip mode. And just give this mat a clear out before we proceed on. It's probably best that I try and remove the harness, wiring harness for the buttons. And yeah, I probably would like to salvage these. And I do recall for the Power Stone themed one, is that the hot glue, it was an absolute bollock to try and get out. Yeah, let's get tuck into this. This wiring harness here. It's just the same as before. It's like little clips that connect, interconnect into the PCB here. So it's just a case of just being very careful, especially if you want to use, which is what I'll be doing. I'll not be like, soldering and, quick disconnects and things like that. So ideally I need to try and retain these as best as possible. So at least that's that disconnected, and then I'm going to do the same with the controller cable. So I'm just going to rotate this round so it's better for me to get in. And obviously it's going to be a wee bit challenging. And this also I need to be careful with because, well, now that I've actually noticed that, I'm not entirely sure if that's a dirty mark or if that's actually a breach in the rubber there. So I might need to investigate that further later on as to whether or not it's salvageable or, aesthetically salvageable, or whether I need to opt for kind of a more aftermarket. So here we are. Just going to gently remove that. It's tight. Ooh. Keep it tight. Ooh, right, and there we have it. That's the controller cable removed. And then we're going to look into probably try and remove the connections off the buttons. Right, so yeah, looking into the buttons here, I think probably the safe bet would be is possibly to remove the PCB first. Then we'll get the VMU housing out of the way. It's always handy to keep the screws for the PCB. So I think what I might do is I might skip the idea of stripping back the hot glue off these connections. I'll wait and see how easy they are, because with past history they have been a bit of a bollock. I need to be very careful with this, because if you are stripping back one of these, just be very careful. You'll not be able to see that from that angle here. So yeah, here we are, that's a better angle here. So these areas here, that there, are like little wings, and they're incredibly fragile, like brittle almost. So just be very mindful of that whenever you're either cleaning or handling them. Because yeah, it's definitely one of these kind of components that you need if you want to be saving games whilst using your arcade sticks. So just be very mindful, careful. Let's see if I can try and pop the PCB out. There we are. Because not only do you have the screws that support the PCB through these little nooks and crannies here, these wee cylindrical pieces, but you also have like little holes as well. Yeah, you'll be able to see that through the camera. It's kind of there, and obviously the other side as well. So I'm just going to set that gently there, and then we should be able to just gently, and I do mean gently, remove the VMU housing. It's more because of these two little items here that are preventing it from just coming out, so I might try and come out from a different angle here, and maybe just try and draw it out, pull it out. Could even try and just allow gravity to do its thing. See, this side is okay. You'll not be able to see it with the camera, because I've had to invert the camera angle. You see that here? There we are. But yeah, it's just that side. This side here is okay for coming out. As you can see, that's no bother. But it's the opposite side, this one here, because it's wedged in between these two little tubes. And I do actually mean that it is actually wedged in. There is like no margin for error whatsoever. I might actually need to try and get myself, I'm going to try this little tool here, It's a flat head. Very small, and I'm going to try and come in at this angle here if I can, but there's an increased chance that as I'm wedging I could be breaking. I can't even come in at that angle neither. Oh, here we are. I think it's just a case of just get your finger in and then just gently, lift her out. Oh yes. That finger motion there. Like I said earlier on, it's these little wings here, ever so brittle. So let's be very careful if you are going to try and remove that out. So I'm going to flip that back round like so. I've still got the harnesses daisy chained here. Just try to think as to whether or not I can remove these. These are very glued on, wow. I think I might flip this over and take this panel off now. You know it's serious when sleeves get rolled up. So let's put that back. I've got an actual screwdriver that's good for this task ahead. So this one. No. Is it the far end one? Yeah. So let's come in at this one here. There we are. Is that satisfying? Clunk. There we are. Definitely need to keep a hold of these and try not strip the threads. Because I do love a wee thread strip from time to time. Here we are. Pop that out like that. So once I've disassembled this, I'll conclude the video and then I'll give this case and both panels a good clean. Fares out, because once I remove this panel here, it's going to make it interesting for access into the buttons. I need to get myself like a flat-headed screwdriver just to encourage it to come out. Shouldn't take much effort, in fairness. Should just prise out, but there we are. And then that'll give me access, hopefully. Try and get these clips out. Actually, I wonder if I can get in underneath here. Where's that little flat-headed screwdriver. Here we are. Try and just give them a gentle probe. So I don't know if you'll be able to see. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just using flat-headed screwdriver and I'm just going in and I'm just gently prising the clips, just so it's more than likely to break the hot glue seal, and then it's just a case of I can then return the panel underneath and then try and pop the connections out. That's how I'm going about it. In theory, whether it comes to fruition, we shall see. Because what we've got to remember here is I'm not actually going to have, I'm not going to use these buttons. I have no use for these. These are just so generic. Not the best, to be honest, but they tick the box for, you put your stick in that. So I'm hoping it's just a case of being able to just wiggle. I can't recall on my last strip down how difficult this was. The glue's pretty solid, huh? Like even like the stringy, G-string-esque. I think that's the strategy, is just trying to get it so that and then when it comes to actually cleaning, to get the hot glue off, it's slowly coming away. Oh, there we are. Yeah, that's pretty strong glue, eh? You see that there. And then, yeah, I need to go and clear the, just show you, need to like clear all of that glue off there if I want to retain using this harness here. I'm going to try and come in at this angle here. It's like any other task, you've just got to be patient. Oh, here we are. Another one bites dust there. The good thing is, once I start to disconnect some of these harnesses here, I can just budge them, tuck them to the side, and then, yeah, hopefully, those aren't going to come out anytime soon, so we shall continue, as Pete Tong would say. Just hope that this task doesn't go Pete Tong. The majority of you, if you are case modding, highly doubt you're going to keep these components, these buttons. So even if you were to like break one of the pins, I'm pretty sure you could go and get yourself some more buttons of the exact same colour, but be far more premium spec, better build quality. So there's no, don't cry yourself to sleep. if you do bend a pin whilst removing these off the hot glue areas. Like I said, you know, it's just the thing you've got to be mindful and careful about at the same time is that, you know, it's these connections that are attached. It's what you've got to be very mindful about. But once I get this kind of daisy chain connection, oh, this seems a bit easy. Easy. If only all of them were like that, we would have finished this video ages ago. I'm going to come in at this angle here, try and get in just a wee, just to break the seal. Honestly, I can't recall this being as difficult as it is. So, whoever was assembling this joystick in the assembly line, they must have woken up on the wrong side of the bed and thought, do you know what, I'm going to make it increasingly difficult for somebody who wants to come along and remove these rotten components. Now I'm being a bit harsh. But aye, they are, if you ever get yourself a stick, you know, one of these, you'll just know instantly that, you know, they're tired. Buttons are just had their day, and it's high time we just got them ripped out. Which is something this just does not want to do. It doesn't want to come out, but here we are. And then that was the one I loosened off earlier. Coming in at a different angle here. Right, see if I can try and prise this one out. And then the final one will be the start. Start button one. Oh, yeah. Snap. Bosh. And the start one is where the fun begins. Yeah, I need to kinda... So I'm just going to set this panel, including the attached buttons to this side. Quick wipe down. I want to focus my attention on the start button, which you'll not be able to see at that angle. Nah, it's even worse there. I can't adjust my angle so that you guys and girls can see it, but basically what I'm hoping to achieve is just to use, get this focused properly. So yep, rest it against my finger, so it's like small flat headed screwdriver here, and there's little, there we are, little flaps here, just there, and one at opposite, and I just want to like just want to bend them, nudge them across ever so slightly, and that just gets me access into this little area here. I don't want to go too OTT, because last thing you want to do is you don't want to be snapping these clips off, otherwise, you know, it could be troublesome. I just want to be able to basically get in just enough to prise out this little thing here. Now, I did have bullnose pliers. I know it's a bit OTT, but it might very well require that just to get in from one angle and allow me to just gently loosen that. And then hopefully I can just come in, slide on out. Oh, come on. There we are, I can see the movement. I just need to slide it out now. Come on. If that stays like that, oh, it's snapped back into place. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Try this one as well. Where's the little one? Room for a wee in. No, I don't want that. That's the torquey bit. Get the torquey bit out the road then out. Even if I need to just ever so much, just gently prise. Oh, it's definitely a tight little start button. Oh, there we are. Out now. Yay! Right. So, finally got that removed here. And it was just that little start button, this little thing here. It was wedged in that little housing there where the little yellow thing is. So I just had to gently bend these flaps to the side, and then that just allowed it to slip out, you know. So all I need to do now is just gently pop out the start button. Once I get a hold of the case properly, and it should just pop out. It's on time unless the clips, yeah, of course there is. Of course there's got to be little clips involved here. Don't be silly. Don't be silly Billy. So yeah, again just need to prise it through like so. Bit of brute force, and yeah, there we have it. Start button out. Set that to the side. So apart from some hot glue residue that's been left behind from the raging assembly worker, and yeah, it just needs just a wee clean up case aesthetically. I mean, there's a wee scuff there, little scratch there, but I can cover that up somehow. So that's the case, so I will set that to the side and we'll just finish off removing these. These have just got little clips at the side of them. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. If I was to flip that like so, try and get a better angle. It's difficult because obviously I've inverted the camera. So yeah, you're gonna have, where are you? Yeah, there's little clips here where that screwdriver's is. You just gotta gently push them in either side. But I'm not gonna really be too gentle with these because they're just getting popped anyway, just getting binned or, I don't know, sat to the side, and then so everybody gets all a bit nostalgic and, oh, I want these fusty old green buttons again. It's like, cool, I've got like a dozen of them, mate, so you go bash on, help yourself. So all I'm doing is I'm just basically just gently prising those clips back, and then they just pop out just like that. Oh yeah, I forgot about these buttons as well, is that they've got these crazy wee grooves in them as well. Huh. There we are. Aye, wee grooves. You see them in the metal panel. And that connects with the actual button casings. So just, yeah, again, just a gentle pop. Pop and slide. So many innuendos today. So when I come to upload this video, it's going to ask me, is this video suitable for kids? Well, I'm pretty sure kids have stumbled across worse videos than somebody disassembling a Sega Dreamcast arcade stick. And the last one. And naturally has to be an awkward one, doesn't it? Oh aye, there we are. Get out. Super duper. Cool. Well, there you go, there you have it folks. Complete disassembly of the Dreamcast arcade stick. And then, yeah, for me to get the glue off these, it was just a case of I'd leave them to steep in this here, which you'll not be able to see, but it's Surgical Spirit from Boots. That was the best I could get without having to get the the mad alcohol that you can get in massive containers and things like that. So yeah, it was just what I could get to hand, so I leave that to steep. I leave these to steep in there for a wee while, and then I basically just try and scrape back the glue as best as I can, and then I'm just going to show you how it looks once you've finally scraped it all back. So with a bit of time and patience, this is the result that you can have. I'm going to turn that torch off, hang on a minute. Right, here we are. Draw it forward here in that way. Just because the camera is inverted, so you can see a top-down view of what I was doing back there. So there you go. That's what happens when you put a bit of time and effort in, just to clean all of that up. And then when you compare it to what I've just removed, all that hot glue, all that mess I've got to clean up. But, before, after. So I hope you enjoyed the video and everything else in between, and you've got yourself a wee insight as to how the stick looks inside once you've stripped it back. Yeah, and just a few key areas to watch out for, be mindful about, so when you do come to try your hand at it, you know what to expect. And yeah, keep tabs on the next video. Likewise, I'm going to go and clean this up, clean these up as well, and just keep tabs on my Insta, TikTok, Jeffrey's Joysticks Facebook page. Whenever I have windows of opportunity, I tend to get cracking on, get them on the socials, so keep everybody up to date on what's been happening. Yeah, so keep an eye out for the next video folks, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.